Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope everyone's staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today we've got another video in our Start Collecting series, and this one once again brought to you thanks to one of the people on our Facebook groups. This one is Start Collecting Skinks for Seraphon. We were asked to do both the Seraphon ones, and we have already done the original Start Collecting Seraphon box, and we did that for the Coalesce. Today though, we're going to be looking at Start Collecting Skinks for a start of a Starborn Seraphon army. Skinks go really well into this with all their maneuverability and some of their short range firepower. They go really well into Starborn armies. There is also some options for some Coalesce stuff, but for this we're majorly going to be talking about stuff to do with Starborn. So what is Starborn Seraphon, and in fact why is Seraphon so different? So effectively Seraphon have two different allegiances. They share some core abilities with each other, but for the most part they are very different armies whether you take them Coalesced or Starborn. Coalesced is much more savage and fighty, and the Starborn plays very much like old Seraphon in a lot of movement tricks and abilities as well as magical potential. But let's get a looking at what we get in the Start Collecting Skinks box. First of all, you can see the hero in the front of the box. He is a Skink Star-Priest. These are a cool little skink hero that do give you some additional command points, as well as making your weapons have the potential to do some mortal wounds. They can benefit other friendly Seraphon units wholly within 12 inches of them, and if they do so until the next hero phase, they can make unmodified wound rolls of 6, inflict mortal wounds, in addition to normal damage. This can be quite powerful when combined with units like the Skinks in our army here that have a large amount of small powered attacks. Bolt spitters are particularly good in this example. So we're then looking at the Skinks. What's cool about this is we get 12 Skinks in the box. However, that of course is an issue because in match play Skinks do come in units of 10. The only reason we have this is much the same as the other Seraphon boxes, that Skinks are an older kit from a day when you could have ranks of 4 models. So we got 2 spare Skinks. We could potentially make some cool conversions and convert them up into some more Skink Priests or Skink Star-Priests with a little bit of work, which is a good option to go down. So definitely some of the weapons in here are really good. We have the bolt spitters, which have a little bit more range than the meteoric javelins, which wound a bit easier. Generally I think the shooting options are the best way to go, so pick your choice of do you want to wound better or do you want longer range, but combined with the Skink Star-Priest I think the longer range is generally better. An important thing to remember too is we do have teleporting abilities in the Starborn Seraphon, and you have to go outside of 9, so meteoric javelins don't have the range to actually be able to teleport and shoot, so that is a big reason of why I suggest bolt spitters. For the unit up the back, the flying birds, the pterodactyls, they are known as either ripidactyls or terradons. At the moment terradons do seem to be the popular choice. Ripidactyls are a much more combat unit, but terradons have some dropping rocks ability that you can use, which will allow some mortal wound capability within the army once again. So once again, we're getting more mortal wounds in this. This is actually a really mortal wound heavy Start Collecting box when we really start to look at it. You do have the options to build one of these models as a Skink Chief on either Ripidactyl or Terradon. The issue with this is you are left with 2 other models. So my suggestion would be, if you're going to build the Chiefs, build 2 Chiefs and then go get another box of Terradons or Ripidactyls for them to lead. The last model in this box is the big dinosaur, the Ankylosaurus looking thing known as a Bastiladon. You can build this in a couple of different variations. You can either have a giant gem on its back, as you see here, which is the solar engine, which allows it to shoot out at nearby enemies, or you can have the Ark of Sotek. The Ark of Sotek shoots out snakes, which is rather cool. Both of these weapons have their own different purpose, although the solar engine is vastly much more range efficient. The Ark of Sotek is an area sort of spread. So all in all, I think we have a really great Start Collecting box here. This can have a variety of different builds, give us a bunch of different heroes if we want, and gives us some pieces to convert and muck around with. It's also just a lot of different pieces that look very different, and you can go nuts on some colouring, and which in general Seraphon are really great for, just being able to pick and choose some colours and put together some colours that you might not otherwise sort of see together, or might not have the spread of colour that in another army. Where do we go to next though for this Start Collecting Skink box? And that is the question. Well, the first thing I recommend picking up is your terrain piece. The name eludes me now. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. The Realm Shaper Engine. I am sorry for that. And also picking up some endless spells. We already have a wizard in this box, unlike the previous Start Collecting Seraphon box, unless of course you pick the Troglodyton. But this allows us to take some bound endless spells, which are endless spells that only you can move. These are really, really powerful and a really cool, unique ability to the Seraphon. They don't have any endless spells of their own that are particular to Seraphon, but yes, they do get these bound endless spells, so I'd recommend going and picking up the Malign Sorcery box to get yourself some endless spells. Looking at units rather that we can add to this Start Collecting box, and the first one I'd suggest having a look at is the Salamander and Razordon hunting packs. These are cool, small little dinosaurs herded by the skinks around the table. Salamanders are particularly good with their longer range, so they work well with their having to redeploy ability. They're also quite powerful and do some mortal wound output. They are a really, really good unit at the moment. Another good unit to add would be some elite skink units. So things like the Chameleon Skinks. Chameleon Skinks are a much more adept and elite skink unit. They also have an ability called Chameleon Ambush, which allows them to be placed to the side of the battlefield at the start and set up later in the game. They also are really, really hard to shift in cover, as they actually add 3 to their saving cover, bring them all the way down to a ridiculously good save. Even though they only have a 6 up save normally, they can go down to a 5, 4, 3+ save when in cover. There are, of course, other skink heroes to look at. So if we're definitely going for this sort of skink theme force, we might want to look at, as pictured here, the Skink Star-Priest, who also adds command points, though better than the current Skink Star-Priest that we have. And he also has some cool abilities as well. You could also add the Skink Priest, which is another sort of cool skink unit. And he has some cool minion abilities that allow him to pick other skink units wholly within 12 inch, and on a 3+ they can run and still shoot or charge. The last thing I want to talk about that we can potentially add to a Seraphon army, especially for Starborn, and of course this is probably the most important piece to eventually add to a Starborn army, is the Slann Starmaster. The Slann is a fantastically powerful wizard, and you can actually pick up a named character variation known as Lord Croak. I'd also recommend going and trying to pick up the endless spell that does not come in the Malign Sorcery box, called the Balewind Vortex, and combine this with this Slann. He can really dominate the battlefield and be a powerful magic user within your force. And is also, once again, just another cool different model that you can use some different colours on, and really just give something else to paint and some different sort of feel to your army. While recommending him too, there are some bodyguard units as well, known as Saurus Guard and the Saurus Eternity Warden, which are a unit and a character both. So these units hang around your Slann, and while they are Saurus and they're not necessarily as shooty or anything, they do allow your Slann to pass off wounds and mortal wounds onto them instead. This effectively gives him more wounds that he can take, and just ups his survivability, because a Slann in your army will be a high priority target for your opponents. But that's enough rambling from me. I hope this little video has been a bit of a help to anyone picking up this brand new Start Collecting box. Seraphon are all the craze at the moment, and I can't wait to see a bunch of them on the table after we get back to playing some games. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're fast approaching that amazing 1,000 mark. I wonder if we can get there by my birthday next month. But enough from me. stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and don't forget to keep fighting that war against the grey. I'll see you all again real soon.